Hi everyone, it's Tayla. I am back with my second speed build speed build video. This time it's actually going to be a build that I've created myself. It's not going to be a EA renovation game. So I do make kind of like a cottagey type house. I recently made one off camera that I kind of dubbed like the patio paradise because I had a bunch of patios on it, and I've just been obsessed with that like idea lately. So you'll see that I have like 3 different decks or patios or whatever you call them. So that's kind of what this one has become as well. I do dub it as the what did I call it? The Rustic Garden Oasis. This is in Willows Creek. It is using the Potter's Splay land plot. So I do use that plot because I kind of think it went with the whole garden oasis theme. As you can see, like the background has that cute little river and is in all the little trees. It's like your little oasis away from the city that's like in the background. So I just thought it was like a cute little name. So that's what I am calling this one. So this is my first build that I am showing you one-on-one. This isn't something like the renovation that I did last time, so I'm really excited about that, kind of show you my style and things that I like to create. So I'm just really excited about that. So you will see, because I actually recorded this voiceover before, and then I realized at the very end of the video wasn't sped up, so I was like, why is this going so slow? What is going on? And then I realized I didn't change that part. So this is my actual second time doing this voiceover. Hopefully it's a little better. I get really out of breath, so I apologize for that. So this time as I'm building, I decided to do a little something different with the roof. Normally I just do a normal pitch roof, but this time I really play with different angles. I do different pitches to make it not completely even. So I was really excited about that, really just playing with a little bit of creativity and thinking outside of my box. Something you may not know about me is that I went to architecture school. I didn't finish architecture school, but I went there. And something that I really struggled with was the whole abstract thing. It was just really hard for me to think that like a wall could be round. So I really like squares and everything to be evened out. So I guess my way of playing with the different roof pitches and stuff like that is me trying to get out of my comfort zone. So I do play with that a little bit. I will forewarn you, you'll see that there's a couple of lags. I was making lunch for my boyfriend when I created the building part of this. And I had to keep on going to the stove to make sure that it wasn't burning. Like right now, you'll see that it's pausing because I'm going to check out to make sure that I'm not like ruining his lunch. He is at work right now, so you don't have to worry about that in the interior part. I just was trying to be a good girlfriend. So I also play with windows too because I always end up using the white windows with the black shutters or something like that. So I do, again, come out of my comfort zone and I use these windows that are white on the outside but have that natural wood pane outline, which I kind of think adds a little bit more to it, where I have like, I don't know if it's a dark blue, but like this bluey siding and then this dark roof color, just that kind of contrast. And then I do play with also window sizes as well. Again, I struggled a little bit with the roofs. Again, just trying to get them to even out perfectly. Some of them don't exactly, so if I decide to save this to the gallery, you may have to fix that. I don't know. There's a couple glitches. I say a couple, but I just feel like there was a lot of glitches when I was filming this. I don't know if it's because I'm still new at this or what, but I was struggling a little bit. So I do end up moving this wall in because I realized it was a little too big and I couldn't put stairs on that side little patio type thing. It's not really a patio, but whatever. So I do end up moving that, plus the house was getting to be like a little too big, so I had to cut down some stuff anyway. I think I do it one more time. I can't remember, but I do it one more time. And I do struggle with this front door because for some reason, when I was working on the interior, all of a sudden the stuff that I have put on the porch in a little bit didn't work. It wouldn't go with the door. I do end up having to restart my game and then continue on because I just felt like things were not clipping correctly or they weren't sizing correctly, and I was just having like a really big struggle with that today. Again, here I am being paused because I am fixing lunch, but I'll be back in just a second. So I just, like I was saying, I just had like a huge struggle with like a little bit of glitches and stuff. I realized that when I was playing with it last night, it never got fully closed out when I went to bed. So I don't know if I just had it open way too long and it was like freaking out on me or what was going on. So you'll see a couple struggles with that. I do use these columns that have that little like jut out at the very bottom. As you can see, I was also struggling with these stairs, but I get it in a second. But I do use these columns. I really like the white, but it adds a little bit of texture, and they're just not like plain cylinders. So then I add some railings onto the side, and I make all of the little porches or decks or patios or whatever the same. Excuse me. And then I fixed the roof right there. I kind of go back to my normal pitch roof. It just wasn't working the way I wanted it to, but I think that ended up really nicely. And then I do make a little greenhouse on the side. This is totally inspired by Simplified. She kind of showed me how to do it in one of her builds, so I was like, ooh, that's really interesting, and that's kind of where I get the idea for their house to be like a garden oasis. It's definitely for someone who is really into maybe flower arranging or gardening in general. Maybe they have their own little floral shop down the road. I just really like that. I think my last build I ended up like talking about how it's like someone who loves gardening, but the landscape in this is just so much fun, and making everything seem like this little garden jungle is just really fun. And so anytime I'm building it, I was like, oh, the person that lives here loves to garden. So I guess that's just how it works. So I do work on, and I put a few trees. This is the only tree that I put in here right now, and then I realized that it looked a little unbalanced, so I end up adding a couple more a little bit later on. And then I put this little path that looks a little bit grown in. Again, I just really liked the whole like overflowing with flowers types of things. I could have gone overboard with it, but I tried to keep it as simple as possible. And I use a lot of blue and white flowers, again, going with the siding and stuff like that. Makes everything like cohesive, which again, like I was saying, I love. And then I put these little overlays over the windows and I size them down. I do put them on the side right here with some flower boxes. I do end up having to get rid of the left side of the windows, just because it doesn't work with the room that I created. But either way, I just think it's really cute. I love those white flower boxes. I was a little concerned because I felt like it covered up the windows too much, but oh well, what are you gonna do? And then I put some trash cans out there with a little bit more flowers on that side steps. That's kind of just like your place where you do your chores. And then I add some to this side because, again, it felt a little lopsided. I had a little bit of a mailbox. I think I do end up putting a tree over there as well, but that's a little bit later. And then I start decorating the deck. I put a little spots for seating, and I put some flowers. Again, I have to remove some of the stuff that's by that front door once I get to the interior because it just really messed up. I was a little bummed about that. When you see the screenshots on the end of the video, it will have all the decorations in there, but it didn't actually end up having them because I don't know. So I put those little chairs and I put a bunch of these little lanterns. I just think they're so cute. And then I add some lighting and kind of just get that vibe of like if you're sitting outside at nighttime and you've got all the flowers and the lights, and I'm just really missing summertime, I guess. I'm in Maine and we actually have like a nor'easter planned in a few days. So maybe I'm just daydreaming about sweet summer nights or something because we're probably going to get snowed in. I do add a bunch of lanterns also to all of the little garden like areas. I just think it really adds to that whole Oasis vibe that I'm trying to go go for. Just, you want to enjoy your yard. And I just really think that my Sims will do that. They'll spend a lot of time just really chilling out on their porches. So I do put like a little table out on that back deck again so they can have dinner out there. I think I do put a grill. Yep, I do put a grill. And I just really make it a nice space to be outdoors. Now, I don't have a huge backyard. I picked a small lot on purpose because I didn't want a huge backyard. The idea for the family that I think would live here, and you'll see this a lot in the interior, is a married couple or a single parent, you never know, that has older children, whether it be like, I have a room for like 2 preteens, and then I have this other room that could either be a teenager's room who's like not really around a lot, or a guest room. So 2 to 3 older children. So there doesn't need to be a lot of toys or swings and stuff like that in the backyard because everyone's all grown up. So I put some planters and this cute little pink flower arranging thing. Again, maybe the Sim that lives here is a florist. I just think it's really cute. And then I end up putting that wall thing right there because I couldn't take things out of the greenhouse once I put them in. I couldn't figure it out. Maybe it was my game glitching again. And then I go into the inside, and I really just was trying to figure out exactly where to put everything. I kind of forgot that I didn't put the upstairs as the full length as the downstairs, so I struggle with the actual stairs for a minute. Ooh, excuse me again. So I end up putting there, keeping a space for that side door. Usually I put the kitchen kind of like with a bunch of windows and in the front of the house, but this house I really made it the actual core of the house, and I love the way it ends up. I just really liked it. So you'll see that I struggled with that door right here again. I have no idea what happened in between me building the exterior and then, because it just did not work, so I had to remove all that stuff and put that door back. Again, I was getting a lot of like red, no, don't do that sort of vibes. So then I put a couple archways. Those are going to end up being like an office type thing and a laundry room, but you'll see that in a second. And I played with the walls for a little bit. I think I do end up going with like a tan peachy type tone, which is usually not what I go for. I always go for the gray. But like I'll say probably a million more times in this build, I was trying to do different things because I just getting out of your comfort zone. So I do like a tan peachy color, and I use this like really natural wood. I wanted everything to be kind of natural, relaxed, calm, serene. I just was really going with that vibe, but also country or like farmhouse, I guess. And so I use these cabinets. Again, like I said, I was really trying to go out of my comfort zone, and I always use those white cabinets. With every build I make off camera and everything else, I use them, and I'm like, no, Tayla, you need to use something different. So I use these ones. It's like a natural wood, and it has this white countertop. And the reason why I picked this one is because of that china cabinet. The other ones don't have, like, they'll have the drawers of like the pantry, but they won't be open, and I just really loved that. I feel like seeing the dishes inside the cabinet makes the place look more lived in. So I just really liked that, and that is the whole reason why I even picked this countertop to begin with. And then I use this stone as the backsplash. Again, here I'm trying to change it to white, and then I was like, no. So I do put it back, and I make that normal. And then I use this round table. And then these chairs from Seasons. They're kind of like this natural woods type thing, and I just really liked how it came out. And then I accidentally deleted the whole entire kitchen, as you can see just a second ago. And I think I do it one more time in a minute. I don't know. I just was not on my A game. So I put a little mat in front of the stove. And I start to add a little bit of clutter in just a second. I was having a really hard time putting clutter. I always watch these speed build mavens who create all this stuff, and they make everything fit so cute and perfectly, and I just have not mastered that yet. Like, I kept on getting the like red alert of like, no, you can't do that. So I just really struggled with that. So I ended up putting as much as I possibly could to make it look lived in, but with what it would allow me to do. And I don't know, I just gotta figure it out. So I do put a couple more things. I put a a fruit bowl. I always just really like putting the fruit bowls there because I think it adds a pop of color. I do end up changing a couple of colors. Again, trying to add a pop of color. I get rid of that plant because then I think it's too much blue. But I do plant a blue planter there, kind of make everything go together. I moved the table over a little bit because I felt like it was too much in the corner, and I put this little buffet table. Again, I was starting to feel like the room was getting a little too large. When I build, I always end up making the spaces huge, and then they don't look as lived in because there's too much blank space everywhere. So I do end up moving the wall in a second, I believe, so you'll see that. And then I have this little entryway in the back. It's kind of like a side room. There's a bunch of side rooms, but and then I moved the whole entire house over even more, just to make it cozier, more cohesive. So I do that, and then I add an archway. I get rid of the door in the kitchen to the laundry room, and I just put it through the den. I was a little concerned about that at first, but then I was like, you don't need a million doors to each and every room. You can walk through another room to get to another room. And then I just put that little dresser and that painting over there. Again, I couldn't put a planter in that corner for some reason, so I just kept it blank. And then I put a coat rack in this little corner of the side door just to make it look cute. I don't really know. And then again, I couldn't put anything on that wall. I just could not figure out why nothing was working. So I do end up moving that chalkboard that I put on that side to move the archway over. You'll see in a second. And I fixed the rock a little bit. So then this room becomes the den office type room because, like I said before, I can imagine the family that lives in this house being a couple preteens, maybe 3, and they really just need a place to be able to do their homework, and even the adults to do some of their work at home. So I end up putting 2 desks on this wall with 2 different computers because I can just imagine them all fighting over who is gonna use the computer first. I was gonna say who's gonna do their homework first, but I highly doubt they're gonna fight over that. And then I do end up changing the color scheme of this room. This is where I really start getting into kind of a bluish theme. You'll see it a little bit later as well. I just really felt like blue was going to be this house's color. So I arranged and I put a couple flowers, and I think I put some books or something on the desk and these little candle things. Really make it homey with a couple plants, but I keep it super simple. I don't think that it needs to be cluttered because it's also kind of a hallway, so I didn't put a whole lot in there. I just realized as I'm doing this speed build that I didn't have a flower box on that side window, so I'm gonna have to fix that later on. So then this room is definitely a mud room. It's got the washer and dryer, and I put some cabinets. I put a hanger up for some clothes with a couple other shelves. And it's really just like the go-to laundry place. And then I end up deleting those windows so I can put this like nice, it's not a cabinet, shelving unit, I guess, there. And then this rug, I just really wanted this to be a really pretty mudroom. I don't know if that's an oxymoron, but I add like some clothes, some detergent, some baskets, things like that. Definitely for a household full of teens who are always throwing their clothes on the floor or just are stinky and you need to do laundry. So I really fixed that. So then I move on to the bathroom, and this is where things get funny for when I was building it, because I end up cutting off this wall because I was like, wow, I made this bathroom really big, so let me make it smaller without like screwing up the rest of the house. So I put that wall there, and you'll see I make this bathroom similar to the one upstairs, so I won't really explain this one as much, but I was like, well, I'll make it a closet, and I don't end up doing that. I end up putting like a toilet and stuff, and I'm like, I I don't know why I made it so big. And then I realized that that's actually supposed to be the guest room, and the room to the left of it was actually supposed to be the bathroom. So I had already completely decorated this bathroom, so I end up just switching a couple things around and making that like a really small guest room or teen's bedroom. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was just super distracted. So I end up putting those shelves in the bathroom and a little rug, and I used this deep blue with a couple greens, and I just think it came together really nicely. Some may say it was a little masculine, but I just really like how it came out. So then I head on over, and I think I do the living room next. I do. Ooh, I just dropped the mic. Sorry guys, my foot's falling asleep when I dropped the mic. I usually do the living room first, so I thought it was kind of funny that I did it like second to last to the bedrooms, but it worked out in the end, and then I realized that I didn't film it. So you missed the bedroom. I dropped my microphone. I'm just a complete and utter mess. But it will be in the screenshots. It comes out to this like creamy type room, and I used this like cute ottoman that I was obsessed with, and I was thinking like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this ottoman. And then I just didn't even record it. So I had to jut out this bedroom upstairs because I could not get this roof to get out of the room. I struggled with it a lot, so I end up just making a closet. It does work out in the end. It just makes this room a little smaller because I wanted it to be the master bedroom, which it still is, but just not as master as I wanted it to be. But oh well, you gotta work with what you got. And this again is where the blue theme really comes in. I use this really cute canopy bed that I think is from the city. I love this elephant painting. I just found it, but I do end up using something different because it didn't really go with the blue theme that I was going with. And then I put a couple rugs, and I changed that. And then I put this little mirror thing that I think just really adds to it and kind of clears up that space. I just needed something that took up that little area. I haven't play tested this yet, but the door should still open, but not 100% sure. So I do add a couple things to the side table, some candles. I add this little basket and a couple other stuff onto the dresser, and then a couple more paintings. I did end up keeping the walls white. I was going to change them, but it just worked out, so I just kept them white. And then I think the next spot that I go to is the bathroom, and again, I keep it that nice blue color. It's very similar to the one downstairs. The only thing that's different is it's not a bath and shower one. It is, yeah, that really glitched for a second. Okay. It's just a shower stall. Again, it's a bunch of teenagers living there, I'm assuming, or preteens, so I don't think they really need a bunch of baths. So I think one bath is completely fine. And it's more of the upstairs. It was going to be for the master bedroom just itself, but again, it just didn't work out that way. And then here I am making the preteen room, and I actually end up loving this room. I imagine like two twin girls living here, or just sisters in general, and I think it comes out really cute. It's a little small, but I think it'll work for them. They don't need huge rooms. They're just teenagers. And I end up changing the wall color to this really pretty purple color. It just all seemed to come together that way. And I just really enjoy how this room came out. I use that really fuzzy white rug, and I size it up, and I just add a couple things. If it was bigger, I probably would have made it like more cluttered, but oh well. So I add the little things to the windows, and I make it purple, and I just really love how that room comes out. And then I put a painting in this landing. I didn't really do much else to the landing. I didn't really know what to do. And then here is the guest room or teen room that I create. It's the last room that I create. I add the orange curtains that kind of match the pillows, and I just really made this room cohesive and a kind of like a cool type of room. So again, it could be for like a cool teen or just like a really nice guest room. And I just add a couple candles, and that's about it. I really struggled with filming this build for some reason, but I love the way it came out, so I hope you really like it. I will add some screenshots at the end, and thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. Bye!